nut, nut, nut. Uh, wait. There we go. I was like, gotta find the right scene. I designed a scene this morning specifically for D&D notes. Good morning. Hi. How's it going? I am not sick, but I'm gonna sound like it. I'm gonna be all day and all day because the allergies have been kicking my ass. No remorse from my allergies. They are just here to beat me up. That's all they want to do. Anyway, good morning. We are working on two things today. I know I said maps, and that is here. Don't you worry. Basically, how I've been working through this map. So I started working on a one shot. It actually helped me a little bit. So, pull up this map real fast. I started working on a one shot that is set. Is a dungeon crawl set in this like little area here between King's Rest and Necropoli, which are the capitals for the respective nations. I'm gonna actually move King's Rest a little bit. And so I'm using this map to adjust the actual placement of stuff. And then when I put a thing down, I make sure that there's stuff about it in the notes section. So I pop back over here. You'll see that I'm writing about Artuga right now. And Artuga is the golden section that has no label on the map. So basically, I pick out a section. I'm like, okay, this area is this place, and then we start writing about it. Originally, that whole area was Artuga, like that whole green and gold. Here, I'll pull it back up again. This whole green and gold area was Artuga, and then I split it in half between the green and the gold. The gold being the sort of piratey run nation of Artuga, and then over here is the is the native lizardman, sort of like we're talking like this is all jungly kind of thing, and it's like foresty to jungly here. I don't know how that happens, like climate wise. I'm gonna say it's magic. Don't worry about it. The point is though that these guys are like pirates and tradesmen and things like that, and basically like the cartels will have a base here kind of thing, like anything that's like a trade city, a trade anything. There's like a port here somewhere called Freehaven, like, you know, that kind of thing. And that's their capital, is a port town. They clearly have expanded slightly into the territory of what did I call them? The territory of the Zoric. So the X. And they aren't all lizardmen, but it's basically like the Aztec-y, sort of Aztec, Olmec, Incan, like that weird combination. Hold on, music's too loud. That weird combination people do. They're like, oh, all of the Americas together as one entity. I'm doing the same thing, but at least I'm aware of what I'm doing. And you'll notice that the only geographical feature I have on this entire thing are these mountains, because they were important to this little section of the one shot, where like there's like no easy way to get from Mortaris to Avalon without going all the way around the mountains and then across some water, or all the way around these mountains and then or jumping in the water, go all the way around. So there's this pass. If they can clear this for the one shot, is essential to trade between King's Rest and Necropoli and Mortaris and Avalon as a whole. And you'll notice though that the mountains get much smaller over here. I need to make this less dramatic, but the idea was that technically they could pass. These are mostly just like hills and stuff. Like they're not full mountains, or they are mountains, but they're not as prestigious as these. Hey Blue, how's it going? You tried. Bees. But and so the mountains, they could, I'm going to make this less dramatic, but the point is I might even make like an actual hole in these that you could technically pass from Mortaris into Zoric, but the Zoric area is very heavily defended, and they're very isolationist, so they don't want anyone there. So it is honestly easier if you are trying to trade, if you're in Mortaris and you're trying to trade with someone in Avalon, to either go around this, enter whatever nation's going to be here, go around this section of mountains, hop on a boat, get across the boat here, or just hop on a boat, since you're going to use a boat anyway, and go all the way around over to Avalon. That's like the, oops, I didn't change this. That is like the easiest, that is the easiest method. So, bless me. Yeah. So I wanted but making this a very important pass, which needs to be opened up by my players when they run that one shot pretty soon. Which is how this whole map got started. Was I was making this for them, and I went, well, I might as well work on the rest. Yes, this is shaped weirdly. I want them to look like that they started in the center and then kind of expanded, like expansionist wars out, like, you know, like they start here, and then the majority of their nation is like, they just wanted to get to the sea, and then over here they were kind of just taking whatever they could from whatever this country is. I want also another section where it's like, they're not all big. Like, this scale we're working on here, you can kind of see, no, I'm covering it. It tells you how many miles a thing is. So, if I click this is 7,000 square miles, right? That's not that many. But if I click on Avalon as a whole, Avalon is, 1.9 million square miles. it adds up very quickly. And that is about the size, that's like the size between Australia and India. You know, like it's like right there. It's a pretty big nation as a whole. So I have to keep that in mind when I'm looking at the rest of this map. That like, this is, I could place Avalon here in the center of the US and it would take up most of it. It would only be east and west coast that'd be left. We wouldn't be covered by Avalon. So I have to keep that in mind when I'm making this stuff. And so Dash Creek is also huge. I'm going for the really big ones right now. We'll come back to the smaller nations. I also have this little island over here, which I'm probably going to turn into not Japan. I don't know what people I'm putting there, but I know I'm probably going to be culturally very like, oh, it's just in the same way that I'm making this, all of the Aztec, all of the Incan, all of the Olmec, like all of the South American, like South and Middle American like cultures. I am taking that same idea and doing it for basically China, Japan, Korea, and putting it all sort of in one spot. Maybe differentiating between islands where it's like, hey, this one has more Chinese architecture, this one has more Japanese architecture, though it might just be for the simplicity of my players' understanding, being like, hey, that is that place, you know, that is you understand what this is. Like, this is going to be very based on the fact that it has Krieg in its name, very Germany coded, you know, very very Holy Roman Empire coded, not Germany, not the most recent memory of Germany, the more like older version of Germany that was like conquering Holy Roman Empire and actual Roman Empire. Like, that's kind of the vibe for Dash Krieg, because the Holy Roman Empire had nothing to do with Romans at all. Which cracks me up. The amount of like, okay, I saw a bunch of memes for a while where the point was like, how many times a day does your like boyfriend or whatever think about the Roman Empire? Like, that was the original meme. And a bunch of people who didn't know the difference between the Roman Empire and the Holy Roman Empire started asking them like, how often do you think about the Holy Roman Empire? And they'd be like, oh, all the time. And it's like, are they actually, do they know that are they actually thinking about the Holy Roman Empire? Or are they thinking about the Roman Empire? Because the original meme was Roman. And it's like, what? Hold on. You guys know that's a different thing, right? One is Germany before Germany exists, and the other is Rome and Italy. But yeah, so this is very like Rome coded, and also Holy Roman Empire in their like visual style, like their clothing and stuff. They have those like, here, hold on. I'll pull them up. This. Hold on. See, and this is the one thing I didn't add. Browser. Make source visible. Hi, that's not what I want. That's an actual browser source. I misread that. Ignore me. Window capture is what I want. Where did that go? I just saw the word browser and was like, yes. Firefox, that's what I'm gonna call it. Firefox. There we go. Oh, so, like this kind of stuff. With the, like the slit pants and the big pizza hats and these, like, this little bit. That's their, like, visual style, but they are, very much a, Roman Empire in the way they govern, where they like conquer a place and they give it roads and they make sure they have their stuff, and like they do a pretty decent job, but mostly they're just setting up places to live on their own with some tithes back to Dash Krieg, the tithe being your people for war. So yeah, that's their whole thing. Anyway, go back to Obsidian. So we're working on this right now. So we're working on Artuga, which is the pirate nation. I have very little written for them. I just had the idea of pirates, and then I had the idea for the Zoric stuff. I might change some of this up. I wrote a really quick thing to remember what it was that I wanted to do. So the Artuga need a quote, or Artuga needs a quote. You know what? I'm stealing from Pirates of the Caribbean. Take what you can. Give nothing back. Easy, done. Everyone knows exactly what that means. You hear that? You go, okay, pirates. And that's whole of Artuga, basically. Especially Freehaven. Let's see. A haven for treasure hunters, explorers, and pirates. Its economy thrives on exotic goods and relics recovered from dangerous ruins. That's right. Thank you, me. How much did I write in these? Okay, a little bit more. And I was going to, that reminds me, I gotta pull up the map again. I was going to put because I wanted them to be able to trade with Mortaris as well as Avalon. And I might still do that. As soon as I open up a pass here from Mortaris to Artuga, then suddenly it gets much easier for the Mortaris to also trade in Avalon. So what I might do, actually, that just gave me an idea. Symbols. This one. What are you? Okay, mountain. I think you're this mountain at this scale. Yeah, there we go. Is that right? Well, it is now. We'll extend this mountain range a little bit out. I don't think that's the same mountain. Oh, it's just a different scale. There we go. It's like it looks less blurry. That'll be fine. That'll get my point across. So they can easily trade here, and then we'll open up a very small pass. Beep, boop, beep, beep, boop, beep, beep. There. Right there. So technically you could also go from Mortaris into, you know, Artuga and up, but Artuga is a dangerous place, so you wouldn't want to do that anyway. This is going to get a name. I'm going to call this labels. Label the Gilded Pass. No. Dead Man's Tail. There we go. Why have I changed it? Because, hear me out. This needs to be smaller. Smaller. Oh. If you hear that sound sounds like me making cat sounds, that's my cat's food dish telling him he's ready for food. Anyway. So Dead Man's Tail. I'm calling it that because Mortaris is a land of death and necromancy, and this is a land of pirates. So if you combine those two, you get something about dead men not telling tales. There we go. Done. That's the name of that little area. What should I call it? Which color should this be? Let's give it a purple or gold? Gold is kind of hard to read. Let's go for like a greenish. I wish there was like a combination between purple and gold. There really isn't. They're so far apart. I'll make it purple. Just straight up purple. Excuse me. And we get a little bit of glow. Does I'll have a little bit of glow? Whoops. Okay. And yeah, so that's that. We should set up the labels for hold on. Let's call this Artuga. And this needs to be bigger. I think it's like 90 or 80. That's too big. Whoa. No way, that's right. No, that's right. It's not gonna be as big because it's a smaller country. and put it somewhere where there isn't anything. That's the other thing, is you kind of have to put these, like, where there aren't things. And I was originally doing, like, using stamps. It was like, oh, put a little town there, put a little town there. And I think I'm going to actually avoid that because it limits the look of the map. If it's just labeled with words, it feels a little more like, hey, this is a map someone made and isn't like something somebody made on a computer with little perfect stamps of the same thing over and over. I am, however, going to add the fucking, like, here there be sea monsters shit with, like, the... In fact, I'm going to do that in a second because I like doing that. That's just fun to do. Okay. The color for Artuga. Now, that's a question I don't remember. I think it was... Hold on. E4AF37? Yes, that's hard to read. That's what the big glow is for. These guys give big glow. Maybe one less glow. There you go. Whoops. Delete that. Anyway. Impossible to read out here, but that's what zooming is for. I'm gonna, when I export this map, I want it to be, like, big enough that people can, like, zoom in and look at stuff. It might be a situation where I'm waiting to do... I've had an idea. I want to do a project. Okay, what's the project? What's the thing you're trying to do? Give it to me. Because this is way too big of a project, personally. Uh-huh. Wait, Planet Coaster. There's a Planet Coaster 2? Sorry, that's news to me. Continue. Can make a Forgotten Realms park. That could be cool. Are the tools there? Are they available? Two. Whoa, too big. 0.4. 0.2. There we go. And then for these... Huh. And then for these, a little bit less. There we go. So they get smaller as they go. Heathen. Fool. Yeah, no idea. I removed him. So I think I need to find a better spot for chat, but... Right. Hey, boy, what's up, dude? What is up, my man? We're gonna open up a pass here. Ooh, actually, do I want to open it at the very fucking bottom? No. I want the danger to be... I want it to be that, hey, you have to go through the dangerous area. And you still have to go through this. Honestly, there'd be no point in taking this pass, but I'll give it to them anyway. It's a big open space, and this one has a name too. Let's take this thing's name. Bonk. Hello? Yeah, this. Copy. Paste. Where's it pasting? Nowhere. Alright, we're at our own again. No. We want town. Label. I'm gonna call this, what's this map for again? What's it? Another day, another dollar. Looks like Middle Earth stuff. Yeah, it kind of is. That's kind of the vibe I'm trying to go for, is like a handmade map. It is just for my homebrew stuff. That you remember those, like, gods we were making a long time ago? Excuse me, I'm finally making the map for that world and putting everything, all the countries in and stuff. Getting around to doing that. This pass needs a name. I just want a big general map too. Like, not all. I don't want all the towns labeled. I might label a couple of small towns or like medium towns and whatever, and a couple of like notable places. But the map is going to be a work in progress for a long time because I want. Hold on, music loud. Because I want the map to be able to change over time as my players are playing. If they discover a thing that I make up for a session and it's like important enough to put on the map, I want it to show up on the map and then like have an update kind of thing. You know what I mean? Can I overshare? Yeah, of course. I overshare all the time. Like, just recently I had a video go up recently that I had to go through on YouTube and edit a small section out because I overshared a little too much on that stream. I was like, I don't want that on YouTube. Yeah, go ahead. go. Go. Get out of here. You got important business to do. Or just walk away for a second. Or bring me with you, you know? Something stopping you? Why? What do you mean you can't? Okay. This needs a name. I'll have to think about it while you're explaining. I see. You know, all right, no, I can't overshare that. That's not oversharing for me. That's oversharing for someone else. All I was going to say was that you are somehow synced up with someone I know. That's it. Anyway. Yeah. Well, good luck. Have you tried, like, something crazy? Well, that sucks. There are many days that I am glad that I was born with the equipment I was born with. Yeah. There are, in fact, no days usually where I'm like, oh man, I sure wish I had this problem all the time, you know? Damn, nice. It still means that every 90 days you're fucked, but still, that's nice. Dead Man's Tale, and then this is gonna be, what does Dorado mean? Dorado. What is El Dorado? Gilded 1. Okay. So L is 1. Dorado. Gold? Sorry for the TMI, it's just really frustrating. No, you're good. You're so good. Most of that stuff doesn't ever bother me, ever. You're all good. I'm just sorry that you have to deal with that. It sucks. I mean, I have a vague understanding, but I'm never really constipated. Here, I'll TMI you. I'm never really constipated. Nor am I ever, like, the opposite of constipated, whatever that is. I have this weird thing where I poop very rarely. Like, and it's not even like, oh, I save it all up and it goes. It's like, had to nerd me at birth. Nerf, got it. Nerf, they had to nerf me at birth. I was like, nerd me at birth. What does that mean? I'm a nerd. No, it's like I'm a very slow pooper. I'm like, you know, once every couple of days. Like, I'm not like, oh, gotta go. It's like, no. I guess people are like, oh, I wake up and I shit. I'm like, I could never. I sometimes. Yeah. It's so rare for me. I pee constantly though. That's the trade-off. It's not like I have a small bladder. Again, I have a lot of room in there. I'm a large, barrel-chested German man. I have a lot of room in my bowels, and so I can hold a lot of space for both things. But like, cause like one time, or like I think my record, there was once where I timed. Like I pulled out my phone to time it because I've been peeing for so long, and after I had been peeing long enough for me to stop and go, wow, I've been peeing for a long time. How long has this been? And I started timing it. I had already been peeing for about a minute, I'm guessing, based off the time on my phone. And I peed for another 2 minutes after that, like straight, solid stream. And I was like, damn, how much is in me? So yeah, it's a 45-minute shit every day, which is wild to me. Damn, yeah, that couldn't be me. I'm a yeah, I got a lot of room. So I don't have to use the bathroom that often. Because I can just store it forever. Yeah. Yeah. I have no idea why that happened. I don't know if it's genetic or if it's like something I trained myself to do as a small child or whatever, but either way, whatever the reason, yeah. All right. Like, Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on to talk about world building. I got stuck. We need to name this pass between Mortaris and Zorik. I might just call it El Dorado, but that's not. What's Spanish for road? Google it on my phone, because if I alt tab off of this, it'll make me type the thing again. Spanish for road. Camino. Oh, duh. Camino. El Camino Real. What about Camino Dorado? Yeah, Golden Road. I'm right. I get this point across. Like, I'm not trying to be subtle here. I'm just trying to name things. Have you guys ever seen... I got a lot of energy this morning. Fair enough. Want my players to read a thing and go, oh, I get it. You know? Have you ever seen... there's a guy that makes music like Pickle in the Fridge and... a couple others. Sitting is the opposite of standing. He's like a comedian. Like seething is the opposite of standing. That guy. I forgot the name of the character he plays. I also forgot the name of the actual person who does it. But the point is, lately I've been picking up that there's a thing he does where he starts laughing mid-sentence, and I realize that I do it. It's just not as intense. I'd be like, and then I went and I got a head of lettuce. Like, I can't even do it right when I try and do it. A head of lettuce. Like that. But, I realized I kind of have to do that, where I'm like, I'll start laughing in the middle of the thing and just not finish my sentence. Yeah. Okay. Zorik. I think it's how I spelled it. Is that how I spelled it? Z-A-R-U-K. C-A-A-U-R. Hold on. How did I spell it? Z-A-R-U-K. Hold on. X-A-R-U-K. I can read. And then I want to add a U here. I want them both to have A-U. Damn it. Damn it. Sometimes Wonder Draft really pisses me off. Alright. Zorik. And then we add a U there. Zorik. Make size big. Outline small. Glow big. I think glow this one. At least 2 glow. Glow outline. These dudes have outline, or they just have glow? 3 outline, 3 outline, 3 outline, 2 glow, 3 outline, 3 glow. Okay, they all have 3 outline. Anyway, so I'm adding the A in, and let's change it over here. Oh, you can't see my notes because I didn't. Anyway, the point is, I'm adding the A, because I want it to have AU in every single name for this area, because gold, little thing just for me. That's why it even is Tortuga and not just Tortuga, because I wanted it to have the gold sound, and then, you know, and over here we got the Ulrich. Yeah, anyway, you get me. All right. So these are happily here. And let's write about them actually for real this time. Okay. Tortuga. A haven for treasure hunters, explorers, and pirates. Its economy thrives on exotic goods and relics recovered from dangerous ruins. Also the home. Also the location for one of the biggest port towns in the world. Actually, I'm not gonna say biggest. One of the richest port towns in the world. Tortuga has very little in the way of laws and tends to and tends to rely on governing, including finding your own justice. Okay. Okay, time to plan out my D&D theme park. Hell yeah, go for it. Okay, the leader. They should have a leader. Could call them like Grand Admiral or something. Give them like a vibe that seems more legitimate, or it could just be like Pirate Queen or something. The Grand Captain, the Large Captain, the Big Captain, or it's because they're not about leaders and about like laws. They're about like maybe like a council of some kind, like the Council of Captains or something. Big Papa, Council of Captains. Which here we go. Okay, here we go. The Council of Captains is a body that meets, and their whole thing is about, like, you know, doing what they can to, like, hey, we have this dispute, they can't handle it themselves, let's handle it. Or what are we going to do as a nation, because we are technically still a nation, what are we going to do as a nation to combat, you know, this other thing that's happening. And that's all of the captains. If you are a captain of a ship, you have a place in the council. You can show up in the council. You don't have to show up for meetings or whatever they meet, but you have a place available to you if you are the captain of a ship. Even if you're the captain of a 2-person ship, as long as you are a captain, you have a place in the Council of Captains. It needs a better name though. Let's see. Council of Captains. There could be just something like you know, like the Conclave, or, you know, something like that. The Tribunal. the chain of command. The Concord. The Concord of Concourse. I don't know. Something about parlay. A parlay. The Parlay Accord. There we go. I like that better, but it is basically a Council of Captains. I wrote Plutarchic Syndicate. I'm gonna take that back. Googling right now. System of government. Okay. I had a similar idea for Zorik, but I'm gonna redo that. Oh yeah, going to Nountown. Nountown? What are you talking about? Come on. Ah. Okay, I guess it is a plutocracy. But plutocracy is kind of like, oh, for the wealthy. It's just not really the wealthy. It's any captain can join. Oh, wait. Okay. There's moot is an option. There's oh, Jesus, I can't even say this. Anarchy is your stream description. Oh yeah, we are going to downtown. I forgot that's what nouns were. I also forgot that was my stream description. Also, good morning, Harrier. How's it going, my dude? I totally just spaced. I was like, what? I got so distracted in what I was doing. Anarcho Council. I don't like that. That's hard to say. I'm gonna say Confederacy of Captains. Confederacy of Captains. I think Confederacy is the word I'm looking for. Like semi-independent. Let's see. Google says semi-independent figures like city-states who voluntarily come together in a council with no central ruler, each retains autonomy. Yes, that's what I want. Confederacy of Captains. The capital is Freehaven, which we'll put on the map shortly. They are known as Arties. The majority of them are beastkin, orcs, giantkin. There are, of course, humans and other things around, but beastkin is their main ancestry. So that's any race that has like any like D&D ancestry that is like I've grouped them. I don't know if I've gone over my races, my ancestries in this. Basically, they are grouped a lot more. So like Aarakocra, Kenku, the Minotaur, whatever, any kind of like half shifters, any kind of like half beast race, whatever, like all of those are all under the beastkin label, and depending on what animals your parents are connected to is what you end up with. I think it's like passed down the mother line, the maternal line. I didn't write it down, did I? No, I did. Is the word for all humanoid ancestries that have... Oh, I need to fix this. Hold on. All humanoid ancestries that have bestial elements to them. Beastkin can interbreed, but the type of beast is linked to mitochondrial DNA, and so most will take the bestial aspect of their mothers. Okay, that's what it was. For example, if a male raven-aspected beastkin were to mate with a female rat-aspected beastkin, the children would likely be rat-aspected, barring some sort of mutation. Okay. So that's what's happening there. So basically, any kind of like, oh, I want to be this kind of animal, but a person that's labeled under beastkin's umbrella. So there's a lot of those in the piratey zone. God, okay, I need to write more for their culture. I had so much to say about Mortaris and Avalon and stuff. I have like nothing to say about this. A largely anarchic, I think that means anarchy, where justice is meted. That's not how you spell meted. I'll fix it in a second. Meted out at the end of a flintlock. End of a flintlock or a plank. Meted. Thank you. It looks like it should have an extra E. Well, that's fine. A largely anarchic culture where justice is meted out at the end of a flintlock or a plank. A largely anarchic culture where justice is meted out at the end of a flintlock or plank. The plank? No. My brain was shutting down there. I was like, the plank. While the majority of people who live within the borders of Tortuga are pirates, some are also treasure hunters or explorers. As the land, the Artugan Artugan Confederacy. As the land, the Artugan Confederacy has claimed from Zorik is filled to bursting with ancient temples and ruins. What about monster hunters? Monster hunters, good point. Monster hunters, explorers, or big game hunters. I'm very much modeling this after Chult, so it's exactly what I'm, with like big dinosaurs and shit. So I agree, monster hunters. Let's see. Well, I gotta turn on the light. It is dark in here today, this morning. I think it might be not very sunny out. Hello? There it goes. Okay. So I was using my phone to turn on my lights, and it was like not responding for a second. Okay. Confederacy is claimed from. Let's see. Let's reread that. Largely anarchic culture where justice is meted out at the end of a flintlock or a plank. While the majority of people who live within the borders of Artuga are pirates or sailors. Some are also treasure hunters, explorers, or big game hunters. Big game hunters. Why did I say it like that? Anyway, as the land became hunters. As the land the Artugan Confederacy has claimed from Zorik is filled to bursting with ancient temples and ruins. Though I don't know if I want to add like scarcity, like, oh, but they're starting to run out. I don't know, like maybe, no, I kind of like there just being like a limited number of temples down there. Ancient temples and ruins. Artuga has no central governing body, much to the chagrin of its neighboring nations. Much to the chagrin of its neighboring nations. And relies on a council of captains known as the Parley Accord. Any person who captains their own ship is allowed to attend meetings and has a vote. Any person who captains their own ship is allowed to attend meetings and has a vote. Let's see. That could be a fun thing too, that like some nations create privateers, not for the sake of like attacking other nations' ships that are trading, but specifically to have captains with legitimate ships just send them to Artuga to try to get them to vote in their favor. It's basically like a spy captain, where it's like, oh, you're a captain of this ship, of this privateer group, but you're funded by our nation, and we're gonna use you to go vote in Artuga's like parlay, to try and get what we want out of them, like, oh, make our trade a little bit better or something. I don't know. University captains their own ship is allowed to attend meetings and has a vote, with no prior attendance or residency needed. As a result, their borders are less solid than other nations, as they have no standing army to defend them, but most nations respect their border. Or no, but I'm gonna specify. But Mortaris and Avalon respect the border in order to keep trade flowing. Zorik I spelled that wrong. I'm gonna go through and fix that. Zorik, however, no, I'm gonna trade flowing. Trade flowing. That being said, there is a constant state of flux on the southern border with Zorik, as the people who live there claim that the Arties took their land and they want it back. And they understandably want it back. I'm gonna fix our real quick. I put the, should be AU. There we go. Tortuga. Okay, so I'm thinking I can do rides in areas for Waterdeep, Dragon Heist, Curse of Strahd. Curse of Strahd, instant, like, one of those, like, spooky, like, ooh, dark rides. While beyond a Witchlight and the Descent to Avernus. Any more suggestions? Maybe Ghosts of Saltmarsh. I mean, those are all the ones I know of. There's also all of the, not just Dragon Heist, but, the entire, like, there's a Descent into Avernus you did, but there's a, what's the, hold on, I have a book for this. I stopped using the default adventures, but I do want to run one again at some point. There's Tyranny of Dragons, which is a whole, like, it's like a trilogy of adventures, which I think starts with Dragon Heist. I think. I have to double check that, but Tyranny of Dragons is a thing. There's the Storm King's Thunder. Yeah. All the Eberron stuff. Tomb of Annihilation, as long as we're talking about Chult. Tomb of Annihilation could be fun. I don't know what you'd do for that. Like, it'd probably be a roller coaster. Very, like, The Mummy coded, like, from Universal. Yeah. Tomb of Annihilation would be good, I think. I think that's the one I would suggest. Okay, this feels pretty laid out. We're so much Dragons of Stormwreck Isle for Water Park. Yeah. There's a constant state of flux on the southern border with Zorik as the people who live there claim that the Arties took their land, and they understandably want to. Wow, this is written so weirdly. That being said, there's a constant state of flux on the southern border with the Zorik. As the people who live there claim that the Arties took their land, and they understandably want it back. Not claim. Hold on. I'm gonna rewrite this. No, actually, I'm not gonna say there's a state of flux. The Zorik had their border taken. They're upset about it, but they're not fighting for it because that's not them. I don't want to make yet another. What I don't want to do is be like, here's the Aztec, Incan, Olmec, whatever. Let's make them crazy with war and they fight. And I don't want to do that again. So no. They're like, hey, that sucks. We wish we didn't have that happen to us. We're gonna just we're just gonna consolidate here, protect fiercely what we have now, but not try and push in and fight it because we don't want to like lose lives for the sake of basically getting land back that's been totally plundered already at this point. So I'm just gonna go, you know what, we're just gonna hold our borders, don't let them go, don't let Tortuga in anymore, and they just won't. They protect their land, but they do not they're not coming out after them, at least not yet. That might be a thing that changes later. I might use that as a bit of story if I ever wanted to like have a section in this area. I could have it so like there's been this like unsteady peace, and then a new leader in Zorik comes up and he convinces all of them to like fight back. Maybe there has to be a thing potentially where it ends up where they have to like work together, or the Ortugans just get kicked out and Tortuga doesn't exist anymore. I don't know. It depends on my players, I guess. But that's like a separate possibility thing in the future. I might write that down here just to remind myself. For the most part, there is peace there is an unsteady peace with Zorik after years of conflict. But there has been rumors of a new leader, of a new oh, this is very Dune, like the VOD kind of thing. There have been rumors of a new spiritual leader rising amongst the ranks of their remaining guerrilla fighters. There's an unsteady peace of Zorik after years of conflict, but there's been rumors of a new spiritual leader rising amongst the ranks of their remaining guerrilla fighters. And so Ortuga has the Parlay Accord has officially banned looting in Zorik territory. Has officially banned looting in Zorik territory. However, such bans are often ignored. There we go. So, the Ortuga is having this not having a problem, but right now they're currently setting up a plot hook for future players. Not even the current future players. Just like if I ever want to use, like my plan is to Sorry, I'm gonna slow down for a second. Got a lot of words flowing. My plan is to use this game world that I'm making for all of my games going forward. Unless I'm running on a module or something, I want to use this area, this thing, not just this area, this whole world as my main world, so that all my players who play with me go, okay, we're playing a game with a Sparrow. We're going to be doing it in blank. I don't have a name for this place yet. Like, I know it's going to be there. We're going to have the history of the old games. We're going to have, like, the history of the world kind of thing. And so I can leave this as a potential plot hook for them to deal with, like, a whole campaign about Zorik and Ortuga and how, like, there's a new spiritual leader among the Zorik. So basically, Ortuga and Zorik, they fought, and then there's an unsteady peace, and now there's that leader popping up, and he's in the guerrilla fighters. The guerrilla fighters are still just protecting their area, because there are people from Ortuga moving into Zorik to try and like plunder it some more, because they want to make sure they get everything. And the guerrilla fighters are there to protect the stuff, because they know the jungle well. This is very Dune. I'm basically just ripping off Dune. And they have a new person that showed up and that started to lead them. I think I'm going to have it be an actual native person instead of it being like Paul Atreides, who shows up and is just like, yes, I will save you. Don't worry. I don't know. That sets me less, but all right. Ortuga, let's give it its own folder. And then Zorik is getting its own folder. The Black Shield just float around. They don't really get their own thing yet. Also, I haven't put them on the map because they don't exist on the map. All right. Speaking of Zorik, let's pop on over to there. Okay. Their leader is the I want a name for like the Chosen Elder. Like, I want them to have a single, like, leader that is old. That's it. That's exactly it. Okay. Sorry. As I was saying it, I realized. Okay, so they have a single leader that is old, and that's why they're so like protective and not expansionist or trying to like get their stuff back, is because their leaders are old. They are more conservative about the stuff they have and are less interested in starting something or in trying to like go get stuff back. They just want to protect what they have, which is why the new spiritual leader that's popping up is so, who doesn't have a name yet, who is so popular, because he's young and he still has that fire in him. You know, he still wants to take stuff back. Yeah. Okay, so I forgot I meant to tag this. Parlay Accord. Beep. Give this a thing. Back that up. Okay, and then the new spiritual leader. I'm gonna have this say new spiritual leader. This, and this will actually say young anti-establishment Zoric leader. Oh. There we go. A new spiritual leader, and then it links to this, and then he can have a name, and it won't reset this. Cool. We're thriving. All right. Parlay Court has officially banned looting in Zoric territory. However, such bans are often ignored. Back to Zoric. All right. I want to say they're mostly Dragonkin, but so like Dragonborn and Lizard Folk and stuff. Because I wanted to say that like this region was a very dragon-heavy region, but I kind of wanted to put like the Dragonborn in not Japan, you know. But I might not actually. Let's do okay, hear me out. Hear me out. What if Zoric is the native place of where humans came from? Like, let's look at the map real fast. Humans are everywhere. Humans are everywhere. But what if this little, like, jungly area is sort of where humans originate from, essentially? Like, the cradle of life, a jungle. Also, this is a very small jungle area, but I was thinking about making this more jungle area, but then the Mortaris is swamp, and it's weird. I don't know. Well, I'll get around to it. I'll think what I'm doing. But I'm liking the idea of humans being from somewhere weird and not just like, oh, humans? They're from Avalon. But it would make sense why Avalon has so many humans as they, you know, arise from the jungly sort of zones, move up into Avalon, and this is like where they sort of made their main area. Because of the mountains, a lot of this was cut off from other areas, so they weren't able to, like, no one else really settled over here. When all the, because in my brain, because of the gods because each god made an ancestry of people, essentially. Some of them made multiple. They kind of all happened at the same time, where they had a little council. They're like, hey, you want to make people for this world? And they all went, yes. Everyone design a people, or everyone who wants to design a type of person, a people, and then we will place them in the world, and we will get to like basically sort of like choosing sports teams. Choose where you want to put your people. So like the Giants and Giant King are up here in the north, like going to be very Viking coded, you know, kind of thing. Actually, probably up here in the north, and like then you have the humans got placed here in the jungly zone, potentially. I don't know, maybe, or humans just got dropped in Avalon. I'm kind of tempted to just drop humans in Avalon. Oh, you know what? Okay, hear me out again. We do the Dragonkin thing. They are native Dragonkin here. Now, I know I just changed my mind again. But this is the whole world. It is one continent. It is one Pangea. Okay? There's like one little island over here. But otherwise, it's Pangea. Which means, if you went off this side of the map, you're going to appear on this side of the map. Right? What if Dragonborn slash dragonkin, sorry, dragonkin, and then they go bloop, 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 through the ocean and end up bloop, 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 and here. And then this is also a lot of dragonkin, just like on either sides of the world, essentially. I like that idea. I'm gonna go with that. We're going dragonkin, like we said. Okay. Zorik. That's a Zorik over there. Zorip. I think a Zorip is a thing, isn't it? Zorip. I'm Googling. It's from Pillars of Eternity. That's why that's why it sounds so familiar. And they're lizard people with shields and spears and things. Okay. Zorite. Yeah. Zorite. The leader, let's call him, they who speak last. There we go. I can't like tag the person though. It's just the they who speak last. No, it's not a great name. I want a name that's like sort of spooky, mysterious. I'm gonna give this person a name. Shibla. Like Shibla. The like Sunbound, something like that. Something that just sounds cool. Yeah. System. Googling systems of government again. I just need the systems of government wiki page up, you know? Sagecracy? Is that a thing? Sagecracy. No. It just popped up. Gerontocracy. Governed by old people. Yeah. Gerontocracy. Which is what we have. They're fucking... Dude, can we have a president that's actually like 35 or 40? That'd be nice. Sorry, just my own... It doesn't matter. Like... Fuck, man. Let's do this. Why do they all have to be 80? Anyway. Gerontocracy. Capital... they do have a capital, and the capital would be called, what are my gods again? I have too many gods. I have a god of the sun. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna pull up the god family tree. This is easier. Order, chaos, fire, fire. War and combat, forge the craftsman. Is there no sun god? I guess it'd be the god of light. Water, light. Life, the sun. Okay, Luxaria. Soul, god of the sun. Okay. So, Zorik, I'm going to say their capital is Soul's... It's going to be called Soul. I think. Actually, Soul Rook. So, yeah. So Zoruk. I'm gonna say the Rook actually means... Can I put an apostrophe here? I can. I'm gonna say Rook actually means like area, capital, you know, country, whatever. It just means like a general point of interest. So Zoruk would be the name of the country. It is the Rook of the Za. And then like the people refer to themselves actually, yeah. People refer to themselves as the Sao. And then also the Sao kind of sounds a little bit like Cao, like something that would be in like Mandarin or whatever, and that leads into the all the way over to the island with the Asian inspired areas. So here we go. So you can see the influence of each other. Accidental world building is great like that. All right. And so Ruk just means any place that's an area. So Seoul Ruk is the capital of Seoul. Seoul Ruk is the name of the country, obviously, and it's people in the South. Okay, cool. Excellent. The language is Suk. I like that. In fact, I'm going to give it this. No, not that. The language is Suk. There we go. I'm going to remove this Suk. And that means the Uk, it means language. So the Zu Uk, it's their language essentially. And so they have learned for other languages, like if you're doing like Dwarvish or whatever, it's like Dua Uk, you know, that kind of thing. Dwuk. Gets shortened real fast. Okay. We figured that stuff out. They don't have a quote yet. By the pirates and looters of Artuga, there is an unsteady peace between the people of Saruk, and there is now any parties found trespassing spelled wrong. There we go. Are killed by the guerrilla fighters. Killed by guerrilla fighters. I think Waterdeep will be like the entry name. Yeah. Or Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate is also a classic. Although Baldur's Gate is like a port town. Is Waterdeep a port town? I don't remember. I think it is. Yeah, they're both port towns. Everything's a port town. Did you actually buy did you buy number 2 or did you buy Planet Coaster 2, or are you doing it right now, or are you just like planning it? Any orties found trespassing are killed by guerrilla fighters. But when not pushed, they are a welcoming people. Okay. Buy it today, probably. Hell yeah. Does Zoruk need a quote? Thinking, sorry, my brain went to think mode. It's on sale right now. It's on sale? Hold on, Steam. Planet. I still have Planet Zoo, right? Oh, I still have Planet Zoo. I go to the zoo, every time I go to the zoo, I'm like, oh, I want to play Planet Zoo again. And I play it for 5 minutes, and then I'm like, oh, actually, I don't want to play Planet Zoo again. Planet Coaster 2. Regular Planet Coaster's on sale also. 24% off. What are the reviews like? Mostly positive. All were time mixed. Interesting. I wonder why. I'm a Planet Zoo fiend. Just too much happening. Planet Coaster's a little simpler usually. Heavily improved the flume physics, numerous bugs in addition to the Wild West theme for Planet Coaster 1. The game has gotten a lot better than when it first launched. It feels like a lot is missing compared to the first game, but we're getting there. I have faith in Frontier. Shaky start, but it's in great shape now. Putting the work in. Cool mechanics. I was mid on this until I went back and tried to play the first one. The amount of creativity the game affords you was worth half the price tag. The responsiveness and cares the devs. Okay. Watch Let's Game It Out on YouTube. Oh, did he do new Planet Coaster 2 stuff? Wait, it's on sale by 25% off and it just came out like in November? That's crazy. People are mad because there's less content than Planet Coaster 1, but Planet Coaster 1 also had a bunch of DLCs and stuff out for it. Yeah, it's been out for a while. It makes sense. It makes sense that there'd be less content. How long is it on sale? Okay. I'm buying it right now. You have convinced me. And it's $2 cheaper because I had $2 left over in my Steam wallet from buying a thing for Marvel Rivals. Anyway. And there are DLCs, it looks like. But I'm going to avoid those for right now. Until I actually see if I like the game. Because they are not cheap. Jesus. Anyway. Later, Blue, we should like trade Steam stuff. That way, show up in each other's fucking Planet Coaster ball orbs. I don't know if they still do that orb where it's like, hey, your friends are doing stuff. You want to steal some of their shit? Oh, here we go. Here's a good quote. My brain just went here. We greet the respectful and bury the rest. There we go. Hell yeah. We greet the respectful and bury the rest. All right. Culture. Let's do a little more explanation of this. The people native to Zaruk are generally of dragon lineage in one way or another. This includes are generally dragonkin of one form or another. And so, by the way, dragonkin also encompasses like kobolds and lizardmen and Yuan-ti and stuff like that. So when I say dragonkin, it's not just dragonborn. It is a bunch of different ones. Okay. People native to Zark are generally generally dragonkin of one form or another. Excuse me. Because I want this system to be this world to be able to accommodate both 5e races and things, and when I want to play it in Draw Steel when it comes out. So the races are based off of like what's available in Draw Steel, plus the Beast Kid one I created myself. But also, I want them to encompass everything that 5e could offer as well. So people native to Zorik are generally dragonkin of one form or another, and they are fiercely, that's how you spell it, protective of their lands and any attempts to push in by the explorers, in quotes, explorers of Artuga are met with our let's see. They are fiercely protective of their lands, and any attempts to push in by the explorers of Artuga are met with quick and decisive violence. Hold on, I just got a message I need to read. Man, I can't spell for shit. Decisive. Quick and decisive violence. Okay. Explorer. Alright. The people native to Zarg are generally dragonkin of one form or another. They are fiercely protective of their lands, and any attempt to push in by the explorers of Artuga are met with quick and decisive violence. They have, thanks to the conservative nature of the elders that run their nation, the nation has little interest in reclaiming land lost to the Arties. The nation has little interest in reclaiming land lost to the Arties. Claims, yeah. Thanks to the conservative nature of the elders that run their nation, the nation, I'm gonna say not the nation again. So, Rook has little interest in claiming land lost to the Arties. In general, no, they are not. They are not an isolationist culture. And frequently make trades with Mortaris. Frequently make trades with Mortaris using the Dorado. What did I call it? Hold on. The Camino Dorado. Camino Dorado, the yellow brick road. They're not isolationist culture. Really make trades with Mortaris using the Camino Dorado. Yeah. But they have very little interest in trading. This song, by the way, very much sounds like Stargate. Like, immediately activated my Stargate brain. I was like, Stargate? But they have very little interest in trading culture in any way. And tend to trade goods via drop zones. Not drop zones, that's another way to put it. Dead drops. Okay. I don't have much else to say about them right now, honestly. Oh, wait. There is However, amongst the young guerrilla fighters, there is a new leader that seems to be rising in popularity, who has more expansionist tendencies. Young anti-establishment resort leader. There we go. Expansionist tendencies. Cool. Hold on, let's get this song. One second. Okay. Ow! Ow, ow. Sorry, I was writing up a text I needed to write. Alright, we're good. We're back. Zarek, we did that. We have another area to make. Now, I don't know if I want to work on... Do we want to work on the not Japan zone? Real quick? Because, like, that's the only one I know for a fact is going to be a thing right now. I do want, at some point, I want to make a... I might even put it up here. Like, cut off this whole area and turn... Or, like, actually up to Dash Krieg and all of this. Like, basically this entire zone. And make it a fuckload of little places, little countries. That might have a general name. I don't know. I don't know yet. Thinking about it, just making it a complete nightmare. Or making this like Russia-like, where it's like this entire thing is one giant country, but only this part of it is inhabitable. The rest gets like too cold up here. You know, that kind of thing. Anyway. But for now, might actually do that here. So it's not so much of a chunk of the map, it's just this section. So like, you know what? Let's just mark some regions out. They don't have to be what we actually end up doing, but... Hello, wow. Let's do like an icy blue. So if we did, let's start here. Just do like a little bit out of there. And then they're even with this, so we get up all close to this. Have it do like a little border blend. Actually, I'm going to have it cut strangely here to give room for whatever's going to be there. So we'll mark this out. I like to do like random little cuts into things because countries do that shit. There's this great thing that Wonderdraft has called coastline snapping, where you have it calculate all your coastlines, and once you've done that, you only have to do it once. You can just hold shift while you're on a coastline, and the border will be like, oh, I'll just follow the coastline. It's very nice. It's a little vague. It's not as good as it would be if I like did it manually, but it's fast. normally doing this little coastline thing would take forever. Probably gonna do it manually on the island just because it's very like crunchy over there, but for a big ass area like this. So for this, you definitely need creatures that can keep themselves warm. So no, like, you know, cold-blooded style beastkin or dragonkin or whatever. This is cold zone. This little island's gonna be annoying. I'm just gonna do this one manually. Yep. So big. Where am I? Jesus. Oh, I missed a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. We're doing great. We are doing great. Yep. Choke. This kind of looks like a little penis. Whoops. Well, that's getting a name. I'm gonna have to look up how to say that in Swedish or something, Norwegian. Also, I'm pretty sure there's a way to turn off the like region map, so you just see the map, but I don't remember how to do that. Once I do all the like, you could toggle the region sections off, but I've completely forgotten how to do that. It's just gone, erased from my brain. Also, this program is starting to die. It does not like how long this path is and how many points it has. It's funny because I was just doing this as an experiment to see what it looked like, but there's been so much putting it in, so this might just get deleted in the end. But it is struggling. Oh, here we go. Don't rush it. There we go. Boom. No region. Yeah, I like that, but only like up to here is habitable or something. Like, it's too cold. And same problem over here potentially. I like the idea of the majority of the country just like, well, we own it, but boy howdy can we not deal with it. Or potentially put it like directly in the center. Like there's maybe like a magical storm or something that's causing a problem here. And so no one's inhabiting the center, and they're all like up here essentially, or down here on either side of the storm. Highlanders, lowlanders, you know, there's the whole thing. There we go. We're creating stuff as we go. I don't have a name for that place yet, but I like that. All right. Um, what is this? 6DD. You know, I'm gonna put the label down. Ice place. And just pop that in so it's the right color. Presets. Just make it big. Make it big. It's kind of hard to read, so let's make that a little darker. There we go. And we'll come back into that later. Ice place. Okay. Now the question is, do I want to make... Oh yeah, frame tool. I forgot I can put a frame on this thing. Pop. Frame? Oh, enable. On. I see. Give it a fun little frame. A little fun little funky frame. I like frames. Kind of like this one. It's the little corners. Yeah. Feels good. Feels fancy. Can we up the scale a little bit? There we go. So it cuts off. Whoever made this map is definitely like focused on this place. The center areas. What's this? Scale creator. Font. Lancelot. Create. This is small. Wait. Width. 800. Height. 300. No, too big. Too big. 18. What's this one? Measuring tool. That's so small, but you know what? Handy. I think there's isn't there like a compass rose symbol? Hold on. I want a compass. Compass roses, yeah. As long as I'm making stuff here. Oh, that is right. Completely hand-drawn. That. Bonk. There we go. And then I also want... sea monsters? No, not colored sea monsters. I want sea monsters. Sea monsters. Sea monsters. Custom lion sea monsters. Just drop some fucking sea monsters in here. Boom. Bam. Boom. One of these. One of these and one and a kelpie. Whoa, monsters! There's monsters out here. We don't know what's out here. Crazy. It's like a fish or something. Maybe another lady. Here. Whoa, crazy. What's out there? Oh, that's how I turn off the regions. Oh, that looks so good. Hold on, labels. Symbols. Nice. Paths. Alright, I'm gonna just turn pieces off. Just interesting. That's really interesting. All right. I just realized what those eyes were. I was like, what was eyes? Makes sense now. Okay, regions. Let's do this one. I kinda want to be basic bitch. I gave Dash Creek red, but I might also give whatever this country is a red, like something in the 8. C2 F39. That's a little bit pale, but actually, you know what? Actually, that works. That works. We're doing it. Is this as zoomed in as I can get? No, something's broken. There we go. There we go. All right. Whoa. Oh, this is so crunchy. I made this way too fucking crunchy. It's fine. It's fine. We're not going to snap on this one. We're just going to do this manually. Because, yeah. Honestly, I probably should have made these borders a little thinner. The actual, like, lines. But it's fine. And I'm going to outline each individual island, if I can help it, instead of just doing a big blob around the, like, in the ocean and stuff. Because I'm going to say it's also agreed upon that you can't own water amongst these people. If they just own the land, and the water is owned by all, international and all that, minus some potentially there's some sovereign water. I don't know. It's well, we're thinking it at that point. You know what I mean? Can I turn down the smoothing? Honestly, I like how that looks so much better. No smoothing. Smoothing's stupid. Oh, okay. That would have been nice if I had a little bit of... But no one will notice the little thing missing. Oh, no. What happened? Why isn't it... Hold on. Hold on. There's got to be a certain amount before it'll, like, count it, which is really annoying. You gotta do it again. Broke. It broke. These islands are gonna be a bitch, I can tell. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not gonna be that precise this time. Because I know I can turn it off, I don't need to be so perfect with the regions. I do want it to be mostly representative, but like for the circly bits, it's just gonna be a little circle. What is music from? Metopia. It's given like, not F-Zero, but like, there's a certain vibe that this reminds me of, and I can't quite place it. Good enough. Nope. I have no idea how I'm gonna get that very small little island. I probably should have included it in this little one that I just did. Oh, shit. 4. Give me this. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's do border width 10. That's what we've been using. Instead, we're just going to count. God damn it. I hate that you need like a long section for it to start. It's like, look, I have very small sections here. And we're just going to have this do this. Because that's part of it. Like that. And all these little islands, too, which are going to be... Did I not fill it in? The heck? The heck? Oh, you know what? You know how I'll do this? Like that. Just do a little fucking loop on all these little guys. We'll just group them and be like, yeah, that's owned by them. This is owned by them. I'm gonna include... This is its own thing. If I can even get there. This one's gonna be a mess over here with the regions. It's just gonna be the way it is. That's included in that. This is gonna get its own thing. Island nations, man, you know? Okay, that's gonna be included in that one. Actually, no, I'll give it its own. Here's your mind. That's a little bit far off from the main island to... Okay, well that looks awful. It's fine. It's fine. Players are never gonna go here. It's just there for flavor. Ta-da! Okay. Will this skip? No, it won't. Just testing a button on my keyboard to see if it would skip the song. This one's too quiet and weird. But I can't let go now or they fuck up the border. So we're stuck with it until I finish this island. Up. God, this is a fucking mess over here. Right, music. There we go. Speaking of the earlier conversation, I have a mighty pee brewing. I feel it. Just to let you know, TMI. A little bit of extra TMI sharing. So in a second, I'm gonna have to take a very small little break. Do that, get a snack, and get right back into it. I like how this one doesn't have any... Hold on, that shouldn't be like that. Land... remove landmass tool. Let's make this a little more varied, unless like a hidden Mickey or something. There we go. Done. Regions. Whamp, 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 whamp. So I found out why, I don't know if you guys have seen Arcane, but there's a point in the second season where there's like a French song that gets used. It's kind of out of nowhere, and I was sitting there trying to figure out why, like where it came from, and it turns out it's because the animators are French, and they were like, "Hey, we recommend this song for this section." And they were like, "Oh, yeah, okay." So I did not know the people who animated Arcane it's a French animation company. It's neat that they had some creative say beyond like, oh, animate it. We made a thing, now animate it. There we go. Wow, that looks so bad. Whatever. I blame Wonder Drift. Alright. We'll be right back for 1 sec. Gotta do a little break. We'll be back. He told you we'd be back. Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright. So, we have options. So many options. We could just map out the rest of the countries and then name them as we go. Or, we do what we've been doing and name them and make them and figure out their stuff going on, you know, that way. Kind of like doing it like back and forth, because I come up with ideas that then change the geography of how some stuff works, you know? Now I need to think. So my biggest problem. This is my biggest stumbling block. And I was thinking about it while I was pissing. Is that I need to think of a name that evokes what I'm trying to evoke. I'm trying to evoke this, like, hello? Excuse me, music. I'm trying to evoke this, like, sort of, you know, like, Asiatic feel, where I'm sort of combining all of the, like, you know, like Japan and ancient China and like ancient Japan, ancient China, ancient Korea, like that kind of thing. I want to try and combine all of that into one thing, sort of a representation of them all in the same way I did it again for like South America, Middle America. No, it's not called Middle America. I just keep calling it that. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the point is South America stuff, and Southern North America stuff. Kind of want to do something similar here, where I have like, hey yo, that's Japan-ish. And I'm trying to decide, like, do I make a fake name, like, you know, Sorukai or something, like make up something that's like, so I make it up, you know, completely just take syllables that sound right and put them in, or do I get real Japanese or something and make that the name? I think I might go real, since I've been doing it for the rest of these. Like Dash Krieg is like, you know, dash is fast. It's like basically I wrote Blitzkrieg, but it's Dash Krieg. Anyway, the point is, the like I'm putting real words in there. Avalon is a real place from mythology of where King Arthur went to die. Mortaris has mort in it, which is Latin for death. You have AU in both of these for gold. So yeah, I'm gonna do the real one. So let's give it since it's gonna be Dragonkin mostly, let's do let's do something about dragons, which I think for Japanese is Ryu. I think. Let me look it up real fast. Japanese word for dragon. No, not dragon. I mean like actual dragon. Ryu. Okay, we would say Ryu, but it's Ryu. Is it Ryu or Tatsu? Kanji reread Tatsu in native Japanese. Oh my god. So, the kanji for dragon can be read Tatsu in the native Japanese kunyomi, and Ryu or Ryo in Sino Japanese or Nyami. I don't know what any of that means. I'm reading a Wikipedia page right now, so I might just combine them. Like Ryutatsu sounds. Ryutatsu doesn't sound that great. What's the word for nation? Japanese word for nation. Koka. So if I did like Dragon Nation. Ryu no Kuni. Just take out the no. I know no is important, but Ryo Kuni, Ryo Koku. Ryo. Hold on. Ryo Koku. What is this? Oh, it's Ryo Kuni. But we would write it Ryo Kuni. Sorry, I'm muttering to myself. Ryo, so like, is something I can say. Like, well, I'm sitting there describing it to my players. Oh, they're from. Bleh. I need to be able to say it quickly. Could do something like. Was it mountain like Kazu? No, Japanese word for mountain. No, it's Yama. Okay. What's Kazu mean? Kazu. Number. Okay, that's not helpful. I could just choose random words. Could be Number Mountain. Because I do like... Oh, have a good lurk, Blue. Because I do like... In my head, Kazuyama. Sounds fun. I don't know why that's in my head, but it's there. What about Dragon Island? Dragon? No. Dragon Island. Wow, okay. I wrote Dragon Island, and rather than giving me the characters for like Dragon and Island, I got Dragon Island. It's like cool. Great. Thank you, translator. Shima. Okay. Like Iwa, like okay. Shima. Okay. Japanese word for dragon. I want to know what the actual dragon is. Not it. I mean, I guess dragon. Yeah. How do I say dragon? Dragon. Ryu. That's it. Ryoshima. Ryoshima sounds nice. What's going on? Sorry, I'm eating a breakfast. Ow! What the fuck? My jaw just popped. What color is this region? Okay. Labels. Text. This color. And we're gonna have it say... Ryu. How do you spell that? Is it 2 U's? 2 U's. Ryoshima. I'm putting it on things, but I kind of want to put like the capital kind of dead center. Is that readable? No, I'm going to put this off to the side. You know what? This is getting a curve. First one's getting a curve. No. Ryoshima. There we go. Nice little curve in it. Something's wrong with his eye. Whatever. It's supposed to be hand drawn anyway. In theory. Okay. We never put the capitals in here. Shit. Okay, we'll do that in a second. Let's do the capital here first. I know Kyo means capital because it's in Kyoto and Tokyo. So we'll go with Kyo for something. Random Japanese noun generator. Give me 10 random Japanese words. Hand, airport, boy, month. Month, butterfly, beans, peas, airplane. Okay. Year still house, capital, home capital. No. Oh wait, storm. Japanese to English. By the way, sorry. Storm. Arashi. Arashi Q? Hold on. Kyoto. Kyo. Okay, what is Kyo? Remind me what Kyo... Oh, that's just the symbol for... Oh, I'm gonna put it there. Arashikyo. Arashikyo. Okay. Which in English is saying is Renkyo, but that's not. Maybe it is different when it puts next to something. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I'm not Japanese. I just want to steal and borrow for this zone. You know, oh, there's text there. Shouldn't be there. You know what? I'm gonna have it. I'm not gonna have it be direct. I'm gonna do what I did with Mortaris, where it's like Mort is there, but then I add my own flavor to it. So Ryushima is the name of the place, and then the name of the capital down here, which does not get a curve, no curve, and is much smaller. City. Oops, that's the wrong. I want that. We are calling this Kyoashi. There we go. And we're putting that dead center, and it's getting its little capital star, so we know what that is. Actually, you know, it could be fun. Sorry, I know I just said put it dead center. What if it was... Nah, yeah, dead center. Or like on this section, right down here. There we go, not dead center, just like in the corner. Alright. Done. What sizes are these capital names? Or 28? Was I doing 28 over here? I did. Yes, I did. Cool. Ice place. Alright, let's go in the notes now. So, and we have Ryushima, new cultural new folder, Ryushima, new note, Ryushima. Hey, thanks for the follow, brother. Appreciate you, door handle coding. What a name. And we'll go in. Ryushima. We're gonna give this an icon. Island? No. Dragon? It's no good. Okay, no. Gosh. What's a good icon? All icons. What about bamboo? Nope. No. See what I get? No. Japan. Oh. Could do a little yen. Sword. No. Cherry Blossom would be good, but then it doesn't fit the theme of the rest of my icons, you know? Let's go with wait. Oni? No. Imp. No. We already used a boat. Didn't we? No, we did. Oh yeah, we did for Artuga. Makes sense. I should probably change it to an anchor, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna change Artuga to an anchor when I'm done with this. Why am I working so hard on this? Coin. No, it's gonna be a different area for sure. A croissant. Sushi. Just emojis. Damn it. Ramen. No. Soup. Oh wait, tea? 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 No, okay, we'll use soup and pretend it's tea. There we go. That's tea, shush. It's not soup. The symbol is not soup. Alright, Hiroshima. And then, I haven't made any of the capitals have their own thing. I really need to, like, go through and actually do that. I do need to go here. Copy this. Oh, I forgot to give this one. Hold on. Tags, nation, dragonkin, life. And then for Avalon didn't get one. Tags, nation, human, celestial, and the main thing leads. No, it's sort of order, life. There we go. Artuga, tags, nation, beastkin, orcs, giantkin, and the... I don't think I did a primordial thing for them, so I'm gonna have to say... So chaos is an option? Yeah. Cool. Hiroshima. Tags. Nation. Dragonkin. Order again. And let's say... Is a storm a thing? Water is a thing? Water. There we go. Okay. And then we pop that down. And we do this. We get rid of this. Ossia, we get rid of this. Get rid of that. Whoops. Leader, get rid of that. Get rid of this. Okay. So who are these people? What do they want? Who are they? What do they have? What do they do in the world? These are my questions. Let's go back to the map and look what we think. So Hiroshima, I kind of want to make them related and or not related, but like obviously we had people from these areas go across the sea and settle here. Right. So Dragonkin are still here too. Do they have any relation to Ice Place, which I don't have a name for yet still, or any of these nations? There's gonna be several in here. I don't know yet. I might wait to write more about them until I know more about them. I know that they're here, and I might just work on the name for Ice Place for now. And then use currently the emptiness of the Hiroshima one to make a new, to like, basically make a new, like a template temporarily, you know? So Ice Place needs a name. An actual name. Okay, something like Jormungandr or something, you know, like your Bingen, Skjolheim, you know, Isheim, ice home. Honestly, actually, I like that. Hold on, Isheim. Kind of like Isheim, but it's Isheim. Or we could do, you know, what's ice? Hold on. Now we're looking up. Old Norse word for ice. Is. Oh, I was right. What about Isis? What about Swedish word for ice? Is. Okay. Well. Frostheim feels too on the nose. Ryushima could be some empire. Yeah, no, for sure. I think empire is. You know what? Actually, good point. I am gonna put this. I'm gonna put that in Ryushima's like government system. Just what's the. Is it just, would it just be called a monarchy? Like, if it's an empire and the emperor is genetic, or is is that still a monarchy? So let's see, empire. I'm googling it right now. Because empires are different to me than kingdoms, and I don't know why. Like, my brain. I think it's still empire because it's genetically passed. So I'm going to write monarchy. But I'm going to call this the something emperor. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Back to Ice Zone. While we think of things, we're gonna think about place names. We're gonna backstory place name this place. Well, I think I'm gonna go through and write all the stuff for them later. I know I said I was doing it back and forth, but I kind of like the idea of now of. At the moment, I'm in the mode of let's just make a bunch of nations and name them and give them general themes and then move on past that. Damn it. I didn't want to write a second one. Okay. Isheim. No, I like Heim, though. Whatever it is going to be Heim. Draugheim. Like undead. Like Draugr. Draugheim. I did make one of these ones called Jotunheim. I already did that. It already exists. It's just like the giant home. Very tempted to do it again. It's so easy and it's so readable. Players immediately read Jotunheim and they go, ah, I know what that is. Or Jotengard, you know, Norheim, yeah. Gardheim. it's like the guard and Midgard and the Heim and like, you know, Helheim, and it's like Gardheim, place home. Norheim is good. I'm very tempted to just go Jotunheim. Isn't that an actual place, though? Hold on. Jotunheim. Jotunheim is the actual place where the giants live in the ice. I'm probably just... You know what? I'm just going to steal it, I think. Excuse me. Label. I know it's a real place. Or not a real place, but like a real place in mythology. But I already did that over here with Avalon. Like, it's just called Avalon, which is a place in mythology for the Brits. So... I have done nothing different. So yeah, I'm just going to call it Jotunheim, so it's quickly understandable. Some things are just going to have names like that. Ice Giant Country? Yeah, basically. It's Giant King mostly. They are... What I'm thinking of is I want a section of this. Hold on. Yeah. Excuse me? Yeah. I want a section of Jotunheim to be like right here in the center, actually, so I don't have to move this. I'll move it here. Normally I've been putting these dead center, but I want a symbol. Do I have this? Hold on. Do I have like a storm? Giant. That could be something I do, like add some fucking... some symbols of like, hey, there's fucking... like, watch out. Dragons and shit over here. There's giants and shit over here. Yeah. I kind of wanted a, oh, you know, let's throw some ships out here. Fucking cool. Fun. Ships. Just randomly placed about. Anyway, like having the stuff in the water. I know it generally was only on the very distant sides. I don't have to like play with it, but at the moment, I wanted like a big like storm looking thing. I might have to play around with that, but I do like the idea of there being like an uninhabitable space here, where like no giants live, no people live. It's just a giant, not a mountain range. We already have this problem with the mountain range over here, but like literally. Like, basically a permanent blizzard that you need to, like, really work your way... Like, again, if you've read Dune or seen the Dune movies, the most recent ones, they talk about this section of the planet that is, like, there's a giant sandstorm, like a band of sandstorm, and I'd want that, like, right here. It would definitely be magically produced, but, like, a band of just, like, hey, this is impassable ice storm that you need to either go around on a boat or have some like serious protection to push through, kind of thing, which makes this makes the majority of the land in this country uninhabitable. Like it's very only very small places exist. Oh, idea! Hold on, Swedish for high, hog, and low, leg, highland, hogland. I can't call a place Hogland. What about Norwegian? Norwegian. Sjølandet and Lowland. Lavlandet? Why not? Because if I name a... Hi, Dandy. If I name a place Hogland... If I name a place Hogland, my player's gonna be so disappointed if they ever go there and there's not a whole bunch of pigs, you know? Let's see. Northern land, northern home, northern Nordgard, southern. Okay. We got it. I figured it out. City. It's gonna be called Northern. Damn it. No. Remove. Be gone, Lel. Damn it. Son of a bitch. I hate how sensitive this thing is sometimes. Alright, no. Norgard. Capital. Capital of Jotunheim. It's Norgard. However, there's a second capital. Two capitals. Twin capitals. We got... Damn it. Fucking label tool. Okay. We've got... Silgard. So Norgard and Silgard both are a thing. gotta change the color of this. What color is the Jotunheim font? Grab. Norgard. That's unreadable. Reduce outline? Does that help? No, this needs to go deeper, darker. Grab that color. Yeah, bonk. More glow, less outline. There we go. Okay, so I got Nordgard and Sidelgard, and they are basically, they have two capitals because of the section in the center that's like can't go. Two things can be true, exactly. Yes. Okay. Moving right along. I'm going to write that down real fast. Ice Place is now called Jotunheim. And this is Jotunheim. Capital, Norgard, Sydgard. That's how I spelled that, right? S-Y-D-L-I. S-Y-D... I know you can't see the thing right now, but... Norgard, Sydgard, I'm just typing it real fast. S-Y-D-L-I-G-A-R-D. Sydgard. Okay. So we have Jotunheim, we got Ryoshima. Next up, also I love, look, now it's a real map. Though I could probably turn off the labels or turn on like different labels somehow that are like, you know, it's cool that you can just like see the geography. Once I put geography in, right now there's no geography except for these mountains, but once geography is in, then you can just turn it off and just see the map without all the country lines and stuff. Sorry. Okay, and moving on. Jotunheim, Sidelgard, Norgard. Dosh Creek has only pushed this far into Jotunheim because they don't really care anymore, but they have eaten whatever this country used to be. I'm gonna make one right. I'm gonna put it right now. Region. This doesn't have a theme that. Okay, wait. I want to make a whole like series of small places out here, like just like 10, 15 shattered, like maybe it was a country at one point and then it split during a civil war and now it's a bunch of different places. I don't know what that used to be, but I'm gonna have to come up with like a general theme. So this is more northern, and I'm sticking to northern is north. I want to make this lower section a desert. We'll get to that. So this is where I want to put my shattered country that was a big, huge superpower that broke into a million pieces, a la the fucking Soviet Union, you know. And then, so there's gonna be a lot of different little places here, all the way up to like here. Maybe I put the dwarves right here-ish, or not the dwarves, but like, because there's mountain range here, maybe I put like more mountains that lead, you know, past here, and that's where the dwarves are sort of hanging out, like in the mountains. I don't know. I'm thinking it through. I don't really want to do a whole lot of like monoculture or mono ancestry places. I have that here for Ryoshima and Zarek because I think it's interesting to have the crossover from, you know, across the sea to one to the other. But for the most part, like Avalon, yes, there's a lot of humans in Avalon. Yes, there's a lot of Beastkin in Artuga, but everyone is everywhere, you know? You could be anyone from anywhere, basically, is what I'm trying to do. So, yeah. There are, of course, majority ancestries, but, yeah. And the question is, how big do I want this desert? Big? I'm thinking big. And it might be a very similar thing to Jotunheim, where a section of it is just uninhabitable. Kind of want to map that out. But I also need to think about how I want to run the desert. Like, do I want to give it, it's the classic, like, how much into real life roots do I want to lead with, like, oh, we've got the Japan area, we got the Norse area, we got the British area, let's give the South America, let's give ourselves the fucking Middle East over here, that's actually the Southern East, or the Southern, you know, like, I don't know how much I want to lean into that. or if I want to like avoid it and make them more of their own nations. But I do like I do love the shorthand of like, hey, this is just like this other place, like calling it like, you know, giving it a name that's very like, oh, that's a Middle Eastern name or whatever. I want to do that to lean into it for the shorthand for the sake of my players, but at the same time, I kind of want to make things that are different. Like Mortaris was my favorite place that I've made so far because it is so different from everywhere else. Everything else has like you can kind of get where that's from, but Mortaris is so like there isn't a place where we have that is a world, like a whole country of basically scholars because they have free labor in the form of slavery, but the slavery is of dead people, like that is a thing that just didn't exist or doesn't exist right now. So I can't like shorthand that like, oh, it's just like, this place, because we don't resurrect our dead to build our buildings. You know what I mean? And I kind of want to be more creative and have more stuff like that, but also at the same time, again, the shorthand is real nice. Of like, oh hey, you guys, that person is from Jotunheim. You know what that's gonna be like, I don't know. It's tough. Just thinking. I got a little boot. I got a little Italy boot. Coast being south, dangerous like Australia. Coast being green, lush jungles. Yeah, basically. I wanted like a southern, dangerousy desert kind of thing. I do have some lush jungle over here. I might add some more lush jungle on this side too. We'll see. At the moment, the jungle is very limited in that it's here, mostly. And over here it was jungle at one point. So basically, how I'm thinking of it is, this Avalon, forests, your classic British forest stuff. So for some reason, I'm gonna say magic. Past these mountains, it becomes becomes like jungle. This all used to be jungle, right? Like all along this southern area, including Mortaris. All the necromancy and stuff that was happening in Mortaris that like sort of naturally embedded into the ground, and it became sort of this like swampy, like everything's kind of dead but still sort of alive. Like you'll find like a dead tree and you'll open it up and it's still living and producing, sap and things, but it looks dead on the outside and the ground is very mushy and wet and swampy because it still rains just as much as it did when it was a lush jungle, right? So like this is all jungle, and so I was thinking about leaving it like that and then basically having it dry up this direction. We get over here, it's more like plains and things and hills, I guess. And then up it gets drier and colder. I'm gonna have to like sit there and really think about it, I think, climate wise. But but still got so much more map to fill. And the other question is like, do I fill it now, or do I wait till it comes up for my players? Like maybe these are the only nations that matter right now. And they're like, oh, I want to be from this other place. And we go, okay, let's make that place. I don't know. It's a question of like, do I want to set it up all now, or what's it between King's Rest and Necro? So, this is the Ebon Gate. This is a small mountain pass. It's an underground pass between Avalon and Mortaris, and currently it's shut off. It's closed. So trade between Mortaris and Avalon, while it is important, it is kind of strained because not only do they dislike each other greatly, but if you were in Mortaris and you want to trade with Avalon, you're gonna have to enter whatever this country is, and then cross some water, or enter into Zorik, which is dangerous, and go through Ortuga, which is even more dangerous, and then up here. And then if you wanted to like trade directly with King's Rest from Necropoli, these are the capitals, you'd have to go up through and go all the way around, or hop on a boat, take the boat all the way around to Avalon and then come down to King's Rest, that kind of thing. So it's difficult to trade, And the Ebon Gate would basically open up trade between Avalon and Mortaris completely, because it's big enough for whole trade caravans to go through. But the problem is, it's very dangerous. It is full of incredibly tough monsters and traps and things that need to be disabled. And whoever made it didn't want people to go in it, essentially. And I'm setting that up as because I had some players vote on what one shot they wanted to do, and they wanted to do a one shot that was a very difficult dungeon crawl. Like that's what won the vote. And so I'm setting up this as a very difficult dungeon crawl one shot that's coming up, where they're trying to. It's basically in the past of my world, where they are trying to open up the Ebon Gate to make trade possible or more possible between Mortaris and Avalon. If they succeed, because I'm going to let them fail or succeed, if they succeed, then the Ebon Gate becomes open and people can get through. If they fail, then the Ebon Gate remains closed, because that's like they're like the last expedition essentially being sent, because it's very expensive. And then there's just going to be trade issues between Mortaris and Avalon during the actual game when I get to that, which might end up being a thing where it's like, hey, you're a higher level. You heard that the last Ebon Gate failed or whatever. Did you want to try your own, go through again kind of thing? Like, give them an option to try it again way down the line. We'll see. And like maybe reopen it at that point. But at the moment, it basically just depends on whether they succeed or fail. I'm going to let them fail on that one, so could go either way. Actually, while we're talking about it, hold on, I'm chewing. Oh, it's down here. Got that in there. Okay, so I actually have some of this written for the Ebon Gate stuff, and I will just read it to you. This is what I sent my players to let them know, like, what was happening. It's a little quick thing. The Ebon Gate is many things. In mythology, wait, did I two-word that? Yeah, it is two words. The Ebon Gate is many things. In mythology, it is the entrance to the underworld. To the many in Mortaris, it is a sacred place where humans and gods meet. A realm of final respite, only to be taken after your decade of post-death service. To the Avalonians, it is a realm of insanity and torture that is only for heretics, cowards, and traitors to the crown. To geographers, it is a mountain. This mountain, however, has a long-forgotten past that directly connects Mortaris and Avalon, and while the two nations think the practices of the other are abhorrent, like any civilized nation, they rely on trade with their neighbors. Metal-wrought goods from Mortaris are cheap, as the labor is free, and Avalon has an abundance of wood products that Mortaris is lacking. Because of this, in the year 1210, Inquisitor King Lafayette of Avalon and the Grand Necromancer Archon of Mortaris created a jointly funded expedition to find willing champions of either realm, or others far more abroad, to clear the path through the Ebon Gate and ease the flow of trade between the two otherwise hostile nations. It is now 1215, and you have been chosen as part of the 102nd Ebon Expedition. The 103rd is already gathering, should you fail, and there are rumors that the 103rd will be the last expedition, as funding these year to year have gotten costly for both rulers. But should you succeed, a great reward awaits you. Basically, I told them to make two characters, so they're the 102nd Expedition, and if they die, which is highly likely, they have their backups for the 103rd Expedition, and if the 103rd Expedition goes, then that's the end. So I have that up in my little campaign sections. But yes, that's the whole shtick with the Ebon Gate, and that's why it's there. It's why this whole map exists, was I made this to show off what the Ebon Gate looked like to my players, and then it was like, well, I'm going to keep working on the rest of it. And that kind of stuff is nice. Like, this whole idea of there being mountains between Avalon and Mortaris, and like exactly how they're set up, only happened because I had this one shot of the Ebon Gate. So it's like, I kind of want to just wait to do the rest of the map in a way to like explore it with players, and then do geography as my players figure. If I go like, okay, I need this thing for a one shot, what does that look like? Or like for a game or something, what does that look like? And we set that up, you know? I don't know. So I might run, actually, you know what? Holy shit, you just gave me an idea, Dor. Will this one shot turn into a watchable campaign? Sounds peak. Maybe? Probably not. I'll have to double check with my players, but most of them are just people that just want to, you know, play D&D, go hang out, have pizza, play D&D a little bit. Very goofy. I might see if I can set up a thing for some of them, see if they're interested, but it's tough when you're like, hey, do you want to take our game and publish it out to the world, you know. If it does happen, I would record it digitally. If we did record it, I would do it as a digital game, so we'd be like playing across like Discord or something, and then I would record that and post it up to YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I've got 2 YouTube channels. One's for VODs and one's for YouTube. I wouldn't set it up on stream. I probably wouldn't stream it, but I would potentially put it on YouTube if we did play digitally. If we play in person, then I will probably not record it, because I would need to do a lot more finagling with a setup that I don't have. So, yeah. But I mean, again, if it's digital, it's totally possible. So keep an eye out. Yeah. You know, I'll give you this. If it does end up being recorded, if it does, like, it ends up being digital, ends up being recorded, I will DM you. I will specifically go find you, door handle, and I will DM you. Alright, let's see. But you gave me an idea. Sorry, my idea. I got distracted. I'm chewing again. What if, to set up the history of a lot of this world and a lot of this stuff, I just ran a series of one-shots? Like, hey, yeah, I'm doing it right now. Like, what if, because right now, this came about because of the one-shot for the Ebon Gate. Let's say I run another one, like, hey, you guys have a couple options. I want to run either a pirate one-shot over here in Artuga, a like northern something one-shot over here in Jotunheim, or like a Japanese, Chinese, Korean themed one-shot over in Ryushima, you know, like or like a desert one, like, hey, I want to run a desert thing, and then in the process of setting up that one-shot, I build out more of the world in that process, and then like each of my one-shots are part of the history of the world, you know. I like that idea a lot. I might do that. I don't know how. It's just, yeah. Like, and basically save a lot of the space for when I need something. I know vaguely what I want to do in a lot of places, but like this area, I have no idea what I want to put here. Yeah. So I'll finish the Ebon Gate stuff, and then I'll do another poll. And see what we got, because I'm also running 2 other campaigns at the same time right now. And I don't want to overshoot. I don't want to overshadow those, because it's like those players are invested in both those campaigns, and so am I. But new ideas are always exciting, you know. It's easy to get swept up in them. All right. I think I am going to call it early today. Normally I do roughly 4 hours, and yeah, but I got stuff I want to do that's not D&D stuff. I have things I need to take care of today. It's my first day off in a while, and I have stuff that needs to be done. Streaming was one of my chores this morning, basically, because I needed to do it because I hadn't streamed in like 2 weeks. So we're back on with that. Tomorrow I do have work, but it's not till 10 p.m. So I can stream in the morning. What I'm probably going to do, because I'm going somewhere tomorrow. I'm going to go, basically, my long story short, my partner lives near where I work. And so, because my shift is so late, I'm just going to go over probably and hang out with them for most of the day. But I will probably still stream before that. And, oh wait, I can talk about this in my ending mode. Hold on, one sec. Anyway, I probably will stream before that, so I'll be streaming tomorrow. I might do more D&D stuff. I want to think about this a little bit on my own and see how I want to deal with it. And we'll come back and we'll come back with Ryushima tomorrow, I think. We'll just really put in some stuff for Ryushima, just like culture and stuff like that. No, like geography. And then, or we might play a game. I don't know. It's possible I'll play a game. Who knows? Could be both. But tomorrow will be a nice long one. Nice 4 hours. And then Thursday I'll be too tired to stream because I'm getting home at like 5 a.m. And then Friday I think I'm busy. I have to double check. If I'm busy Friday, then I won't be streaming again until Monday. Because I'm always busy on the weekends for forever now. Not forever, for the foreseeable future. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you guys. Yeah. I will see you guys around. Thanks for coming by and hanging out, Door Handle. And thanks for the idea. I'm very excited about this idea of running a bunch of different one-shots to make the history of the world. That seems kind of neat. Like, give options on what could happen and see how it goes. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye-bye!
This can't be